overwhelm into manageable and practical tools for everyday use.
All right. What did you think your 40s would be like? Who wants to go first? Nobody. Crickets. Gotta get Jared to insert the cricket noise.
I'm sure he will. And it's almost turkey time. So you're fair. Yeah, it's coming.
I'll go if no one wants to go.
All right. All right.
Yeah, should I go?
Yeah, go for it.
I think what I thought my 40s were going to be like when I was younger, I don't know why, but somehow involved short haircut, which I'm so glad is not the case because, well, yours is super cute, Meg. That's not quite the short haircut I envisioned. And I thought 40 was super old. When I thought about 40, I just thought old, short hair, because my hair just wouldn't grow anymore. And I don't think I thought really much past that, but it just felt so old. And it's weird because today I'm 41 now, and I think I actually do feel younger than I've ever felt, being my oldest with the most responsibility, but I just feel a little lighter because of, I don't know, just the shit I've let go of and don't accept anymore maybe. But yeah, when I thought of 40, it was just, oh, that was so old, but it's not. It's like the funniest thing. It's so not. And neither is 50 either. Like, I don't know about you ladies, but when I think about at 40 now, looking forward at our ages, I don't know, kind of is like a wine. Like, I feel like we're just going to be getting sassier and better and able to do more with less restrictions the older we get.
Agreed.
God willing.
Totally. I'm on board.
I thought muumuus and short haircuts too. For sure. That's what I thought. I would picture Nanny in the kitchen. That's what I thought.
Yep.
I don't know if I ever thought 40 was old, but I do remember doing the math of trying to figure out like how old my mom was when she had me. And I remember doing the math and thinking like that she waited so long to have me, but she didn't, it was like so similar, that, oh my gosh, she had me, at, I don't even know, 32. And I was like, whoa, I feel like that's like late. And now kids are, I talk to kids, high school kids, and they're like talking about having kids and stuff. And I'm like, when are you going to have kids? I don't know. Like, I really want to have kids by the time I'm like 25 or 26. I think to myself, okay, that seems soon. Like, you sure you don't want to do something else first? Like anything else?
Maybe wait until you're 50 because they can do that now.
Right? Like, but that's the other thing. I had this conversation in school with a kid the other day. I'm sorry. Again, I'm hijacking, but I had a conversation with a kid in school, and I said to him that, he was like, oh, my mom had me when she was like 34 or something like that. And he's like, I just feel like it was kind of late for her to have me. And I said to her, I was like, oh no, I go, that's not late. It's totally very normal now. And I said, you know why? Because, people get into a groove where they won't like start making money, and they like, live a little bit, and then they're ready to settle down maybe and be at home and have children. And he like kind of looked at me like I was like had 4 heads, and I'm like, or some people have kids really young and that's what they choose, and then they have the later years to enjoy, and he kind of like looks at me and I'm like, never mind, just we don't have to talk about this anymore. He's like, like talking to a 17-year-old. I'm thinking, what am I doing here? Anyway, all right, who's up? How about Jen? What did you think the 40s were going to be like?
I definitely thought I was going to have 12 kids. 12 kids. 12. That's what I always wanted. I was going to be rich. I was going to live in this huge house because I really thought 40 was old. So by 40, you should have everything that you wanted. That's what I always thought. And so I was going to have all my kids. I was going to have a big house. I was going to have money. and I was going to dress like a mom. But now my 18-year-old borrows my clothes, so I feel a little better about that.
Woohoo! That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think I'm nailing it, but yeah, no, it's definitely different than what I definitely thought it was going to be.
I'm nailing it. I love that. I feel like that should be in our tagline now. I'm nailing it.
No moo-moos there.
Mm-mm.
Nope. And actually, muumuus are in now. You see the dresses that, these girls are wearing, like they're huge, and I don't know. I could never pull that off, but
They're in for men and women now, actually.
you're right.
If you watch Vanderpump Rules, I'm just saying. They're
You're
in
absolutely right, Heather.
And I really am loving the mom jeans back again. The high-waisted mom jeans. I'm loving that.
I actually bought my first pair.
I love them.
Jen, you probably look adorable in them, but the young girls that I see wear that, well, I get them too, because again, they're like button fly jeans.
Holds it in, man.
However, these young girls that have beautiful perky asses should not, because it flattens them out and it makes you look like you have an old lady ass, and you do not need to wear mom jeans just yet. Not like in look.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna interrupt here because I just want to remind everybody of the crazy shit that we used to wear, like overalls with one thing hanging down, or we used to wear I don't know, skids, Cavaricis. We used to peg our jeans. We used to wear multiple pairs of socks.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there was a trend about maybe 15 years ago where everybody like popped their collars and had multiple, like the men wearing multiple what do they call polo shirts, right? So there's a lot of things that come and are hideous, and you're like, what happened? And then they just disappear into the ether. But the girls are wearing those high-waisted jeans so that they can wear these teeny tiny little tops that are like almost not existing.
But their asses need to look good, and their asses are very important, and they have flat bellies, so they can wear the little tops with lower jeans, and their asses would look nice.
Well, maybe it's not about what it looks like. Maybe they are comfortable in those jeans.
Well, I'm just
my
adding
ass
my 2
is
cents.
super flat, and so I guess I fit in with them then.
No.
So maybe that's why they look cute on me.
There you go.
Jen, you look super hot in your mom jeans. And
Oh,
your
no.
mom. Rock those bad boys. All right, let's let Gab talk. I won't lecture on about my mom jeans and young girls anymore.
Sorry, my bad.
It's all important things to know.
It very much is.
I think I thought that what you were all saying about being old. Yes, I distinctly remember my mother throwing my father a surprise 40th birthday party. It was golf themed. There was a bear dressed as a golfer. That was like all the rage. But it was old. Like, I just remember being like, oh, 40, so old. And all the neighbors were there, and, but I thought at 40, I'd have my shit together. I don't have anything together. Like, life has done this, and it's getting there, things are changing, but I'm okay with it. Like, I'm okay. I've come to terms that, like, I don't have my stuff together. Life isn't going to be roses at 40. Like, it's going to be a constant work, and that's okay. Like, I have survived up till now, and I'm going to keep plugging along. But I really did think that I guess I thought it was all going to be a little bit easier, or like laid out or something, which is a joke, because that's not how life works. But so
True, right? You think that it's going to be like Jen said, right? Like, I thought I was going to have everything and know everything, and everything was going to be easy. So I'm going to I totally get that. Totally get that. I don't really, I don't know. I don't know if I still kind of have that feeling like that. It's good. Maybe it's in my 60s. That's it's going to be easy and all laid out and fixed and figured out. Well, we'll do this again in 20 years and we'll see and figure it out.
We'll have a reunion. Stay tuned.
A reunion tour. Oh God. All right. So which question? Oh, this is a good one. This was yours too, I think. Christina comes up with all the toughies. I'm like a see, I don't have good questions. So Christina's big question here in the looking forward is, which question do you wish that we would have asked you, and how would you have answered it? When you thought, this is 40 podcast, what question do you wish we would have asked, and how would you answer it?
I can't keep a tune note, whatever that is, to save my life, but
Oh gosh.
Did any of your questions ask us what our favorite part of being 40 is?
No, that's
Anything
a good
about
one.
that? Like,
good one.
what the hell we actually like about it, maybe? What's good?
Ooh, tell me what you like. I like that question.
Me too.
Like your favorite part of being 40.
Yeah, tell me what your favorite part of being 40 is, Heather Ann. This is on you now.
I like that 40 looks nothing like I thought it would. It looks nothing like I thought it would in a dream or a nightmare, actually. Like it's just completely different all around. And I think my favorite part of being in my 40s right now is, I think where I'm at with my husband, actually. We are two very passionate people. We love hard and we fight even harder. So we are constantly dancing. We have this dance we've had for 16 years. And we've been in therapy for 10. It's a part of our life. We love it. We enjoy it. And we learn so much about each other and have grown so much from it. And I just think both of us being in our 40s, we're at a place, and having just had a baby, that was another thing I was kind of terrified about, how that would affect my marriage. I didn't really think about the good ways, but there have been more good ways than not good ways. And I think being just more comfortable in your own skin, and just being like raw and real and honest with each other, has been easier in our 40s than ever before. Like there's just more acceptance and authenticity than there's ever been in the past, because we've like just been working so hard to get there. So, and that kind of surprises me, actually, that thinking about that would be one of my like top 5 of my 40s, is that, you know, my partner and I are growing together, I think, differently, but together. And that's been a nice surprise to experience, especially having a little one, as older moms and dads, as seniors, as they call us.
Advanced maternal age.
Yes, the most ridiculous label to give somebody ever.
I was literally January 10th, 34 years old. I was just normal pregnancy. January 11th, advanced maternal age. I'm like, it was the same pregnancy yesterday. They're like, sorry. Anyway, that was an awesome. I love that is your favorite part, because I think that's such an amazing testament to the fact that you're both working on your relationship, because as we all know, that we grow independently over time. I mean, obviously we are totally different people than we were in our 20s. And I think to have a relationship with somebody and to grow with them is something you have to work at. You know what I mean? It's not something that just happens because you're in a relationship, you know? So that's awesome and amazing, because, you know, obviously that's, like I said, a testament to you guys. It's so cool.
It definitely is. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ladies.
Jen, Gab, what are you loving about soon to be 40, early 40s?
I have to say, like, I'm in the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Like, I'm enjoying my freedom at 40, you know, because I didn't have it when I was younger, having kids so young. So I like it. It's, you know, it's different. You know, I can make last minute plans to go out. I can make a last minute vacation if I wanted to. I like the freedom. The worry is always there, no matter what. But I like the freedom, you know, that I can do things that I want to do. And, you know, it doesn't revolve around the kids' soccer schedule, dance schedule. It's just something I never experienced before. So I'm definitely enjoying that.
Awesome. That's awesome too. I'm jealous, but
I know.
awesome.
I was watching Meg's face. I'm like, that's the look of envy right there.
Complete
It's
opposite
all-
end of the spectrum of anyone that's my age. I think, Christina, you can relate with me, but not many women that are 40 or in their 40s can relate to how I feel. And that's how it's always been since, you know, I had my kids so young. Nobody really could relate to how I feel unless you were, you know, in my situation.
Yeah, agreed.
What do you think, Gab? Favorite part?
I think that now at almost 40, I'm more confident than I was at 20. I mean, I guess that's not surprising because what did I know at 20? But still, at almost 40, what do I know? But I think that I am more confident in this year than I've been in my life. And maybe that's just like being okay with where I am in life, or what I'm doing, or being back working. Like, I think that I just have made choices or done things that have, you know, made me more confident. And am I always confident? Heck no. Like, I still feel like a teenage girl sometimes, questioning every decision that I'm making. But I think, you know, in general, I definitely have more confidence across the board with decisions I'm making and things that I'm doing than I ever have before.
Yeah. I think confidence is a big part, right? I mean, it's such a huge part of aging. It's like just feeling right in your own skin, you know, feeling like who you, like finally figuring it out, you know?
Yeah,
so that's
definitely.
awesome too.
And being unapologetic about it too, I think is a big thing. Because I don't know about the rest of you ladies, but thinking back to the younger days, you know, when you could be yourself and sometimes it didn't feel right or it didn't fit in, it wasn't the norm, maybe, you know, you would make excuses or apologize for who you were. But today, where we all sit, I don't know, we probably do a lot less of that. Like you said, Gab, like just unapologetically being who you are. That's a nice change too.
Yeah, because that's a big part of the, like you said, Gab, like the questioning the decisions that you make and wondering about this and that and the other. And it's nice to just be able to be like, this is my decision, and if you don't like me, fuck yeah. Like later. But
Absolutely.
all right. So what do you think, Christina? You have a favorite part or no? You want to share it? Look at the face.
I don't
Listeners,
know.
if you could see Christina's face, it's like, this is deep thought. You remember the old Deep Thought with Jack Handy?
I was trying to think about it. You know, I think I do like the freedom. I like the freedom. I like you know, it's hard not to piggyback off of what everybody's saying because I like all of those elements. And I like the fact that I have the ability to take the time to actually get to know myself and start my career, because I think my career is helping me find myself too in a strange way. It's adding to the list of things I didn't know about myself, because it's actually fulfilling, some of my bucket list items, or not bucket list items, but like my dreams. So, I'm just figuring more stuff. So to have that flexibility, that ability to actually do what I've always dreamt about doing is awesome. And I haven't been able to do that until my 40s. So I guess the freedom overall and the confidence to just say, well, fuck it, let's go. And we're not going to stop going. We're just going to keep doing, even if it's messy and ugly and whatever, we'll just trip our way through it.
Yeah, it sounds like our podcast.
Yeah, totally. It is. Whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like a microcosm of that feeling right there. Like,
yeah.
We just were like, we're going to just do this and like, let's see how it goes. Right.
Yep.
Because I think if you said to me when we were 25, like, let's do a podcast, or if I said it to you, we'd both look at each other and be like, that's stupid. And like, why do we put ourselves out there like that? People might think we're stupid, or people might think we're, vapid, or what, who cares? But now we're like, meh, this is fun.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How about it?
We have fun.
I love it. But I totally, I feel your, like when you said your bucket list, like you're definitely at that point where there's a lot of things that you're reaching, a lot of your goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of your 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That's so cool.
Yes.
Cute.
How about you?
Cool. My favorite part of my 40s is I like to tell all the teenagers that I teach that I'm old and that they can't give me a hard time because they might kill me. I'm like, guys, I could have a heart attack. I'm pretty old.
Oh my goodness.
I don't really say that.
No,
I don't say that. I know. I don't say that. I'm kidding. But I do tell them I'm old. Like if I'm like, can you help me move this desk? Like I'm kind of old. I don't know if I can.
Well, I use that excuse too. When they tell me, they tell me they're 34 and they're old. And I'm like, well, I'm the opposite of that. So if you're old, I'm decrepit. Like, let's talk here.
Got it. No, I think my favorite part of my 40s, the best thing now is kind of along with like what Heather Ann was saying, that I have never really had a relationship where, not with Mark, but just like in throughout my life, I've never had a relationship with somebody that there was like equal footing, and there was like common goals, and there was all those things, and I do have that now. And I like joke that like he's like a unicorn, you know what I mean? Like we have our joke that he's a unicorn because of all the awesome things he does. And that's not to say that that we don't have like our own issues and trials and tribulations and all that fun stuff. But I guess in comparison to other relationships I've had, he's sort of like the one person who's ever like truly been like on my side. Like we do it together. And like, well, I want to do a podcast. He's like, okay, do it. What do you want me to do? I'm like, well, I'm going to drive up to Christina's every, Friday night for, and that just is cool to me. So I'm kind of like on Heather Ann's team.
Yeah, he's very supportive of everything you do. And he is a unicorn. Very much so.
And I'm difficult to live with, so I'm fully aware of that, and I know like that. Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
I don't know that you're difficult, but
no, I'm not. I'm not difficult, but I'm like lazier than most people, and that kind of stuff. So, and I have like my dad. I'm a lot like my dad in that like I get lost in the things that I'm like thinking about, and like I forget that the rest of the world is like still out there, and I'm supposed to be doing something with it. Like I'll be like reading, and Mark's like, you have to go to work, and I'm like, what? Work? That seems crazy. But anyhow, all right, so let's move on. What do you think? Living in it. But this is crazy because these two questions I think are awesome. Christina, I think we should start with the struggle one first. What do you think? You on board?
I agree. Yep.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So there's two parts to this question. What do you struggle with the most? Your biggest struggle with your role as an adult, a mom, a wife, a human, could be any of those. And then how are you dealing with it or overcoming it? This is a tough one, right? This is a big time thinker one. I'm just going to put it out there.
Oh, I can start with this one. This
right.
one for me was like the easiest one.
All right, good.
I struggle with being myself, like finding myself, making time for myself. For the past, my oldest is 10, for the past 10 years, I was a stay-at-home mom until like 2 years ago, year and a half, whatever, COVID, everything. So my identity was tied to being a mom and a wife, and that was it. I left teaching to stay home with them. I forgot who I was. I had, even friends, I didn't really like make time to see them because I wanted to just be home or be with my kids. So now I'm having to figure out who I am again. And, whether it's socially with like friends or whether it's professionally in a new job or just figuring out things that like I like to do for me and not for someone else or something because somebody else wants to do it or whatever. Like I bought a kayak this summer because I like doing it and convinced Meg to, not very hard having to convince Meg to get one too. And it was great. Like it was just something that I could do by myself or could text you and say, let's go, whatever. And it was for myself. And while my kids would put it in the pool and paddle around and they enjoyed it, well, when can you get us on? I'm not, because this is for me. This is like my one thing, not that it's just one, but it's like the one thing that I can do for myself, by myself, without interruption or without anybody else's agenda. And so finding that was like the hardest thing, was completely losing myself and having to figure out who the heck I was at almost 40.
That's big. That's huge. Right? It's like relearning who you are and also figuring out, like, because you were the role of wife and mother for so long, and then relearning who you are, and then but still having to, obviously you didn't just decide, man, I'm not going to be a mom anymore. Like,
right,
you still got to do that. So
yeah,
you got to, like, it's like a balancing act too. It's not just like being able to refocus on yourself completely. You had to figure out how to,
manage
it all work.
It all.
Yeah. And the way you wanted to be as a mom too, because that's a big one too. Cool. Thank you. What do you think, Jen?
I have to say I agree with Gab, but I have a hard time finding myself only because I never found myself. I went from a kid where her parents took care of her to a kid taking care of kids. So I never had a chance to find myself. And so, although I have the chance to do it now, I don't really know how to do it. When you're younger, you have the influence of your friends to help you find yourself and find the things that you enjoy and the people you want to be with. But I'm just at such a different point in my life than my friends now that I have to find it on my own. So I really struggle with that. Really struggle with knowing how to find myself. And that's hard for me. because independency is hard for me because, like I said, I went from a kid raised by her parents to a kid raising kids. So there's a lot that I missed in my life and a lot of things that I just don't know how to go about doing them. So I'm trying to teach myself and I'm trying to, open up a little bit, but it's still been a big struggle for me.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that, because I know that's not easy to talk about, like, especially when you're struggling through something, like to.
Yeah. I just feel like I kind of like did things all on my own. Well, with my husband too. Yeah. He was there with me, but it's just different. Like as a woman, you always want to find your independency, and I kind of just never found it. And so I know I want to find it. I know I want to do it now. It's hard because I just don't know where to begin.
So I think I'll jump in on this one because that's kind of where I was at when Kyle left. Is Gab, what you said, and Jen, where you're at right now, that's exactly where I was when Kyle left for college. Was I didn't even know where to start. And I didn't know how to be anything else but Kyle's mom or Jared's wife or anything else. So thank goodness I had Heather Ann kind of pointing me in the direction of podcasts or books or whatever it was. For a while, I had ignored some of the stuff just because I wasn't in the right headspace, but I had finally at that point been like, you know what, fuck it. Like nothing has worked for me. This isn't working for me. I miss my boy. I can't just be Kyle's mom or Jared's wife forever. Like I need to figure out what fills my soul, what makes me happy. And I'm still trying to figure it out. Like I don't really have a lot of a wealth of hobbies that I enjoy, but I do have some that I've been able to find over time. But it's a process and I just kind of jumped in and then I've been figuring them out over time, whether it be podcasts or through reading books. And then one thing led to another and then trying different things. Like that was my big thing, was just trying and seeing if I enjoyed certain things. Like I found out that I love hiking. Hiking is like my kayak, your kayaking, Gab. Like I just got out into the woods and I was like, oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Like I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Like for being a social worker, like you would think that I would want to be around people all the time. I just actually want to escape and be around no one. There's times where I just want to be in the middle of the woods and just be around trees that say no words and just be around beauty. And I found a lot of peace in that. I would have never done that if I didn't just try it. So a lot of that came through trial and error. And again, with a little birdie in my ear, just saying, try this when you get a chance or listen to this, and then one thing led to another. So it's tough. Finding yourself is never easy and it doesn't come overnight. But it can happen even at our age. It's just a process. And life doesn't always happen and work out to be the way where you get to do it at a young age. And you get to start out as a kid trying to figure out like who you are and go into like parenthood and be able to teach your kids all the right steps of it. Sometimes you have to backpedal a little and that's okay. You figure it out along the way and you lean on friends when you're struggling through it. So that's what stuff like this call is about. And that's what, Gab, you clearly have it in Meg's has it in you, we all have it in each other. So we'll figure out how the hell to do this thing somehow, some way. That's why we do this thing, the podcast is to try and help each other. So It's tough, but it's manageable. But thank you both for sharing that.
Heather Ann?
I think so. I've always been a really, really sensitive person. And I used to think that was a really big weakness. And I'll say it can be, but I think it's also a superpower too for anyone else that's sensitive. But I've learned at the age I'm at now and through the work I do that there's a name for that. And I'm a true empath. And there's a blessing in that you get to feel a lot. But it's also really challenging. And it's something I'm working to learn to like manage and how to process all the things that I feel without absorbing them, because I feel them a lot from the people I love and that are in my life and that I'm closest to, or even not so close to sometimes. And you can't always share them with others because sometimes you feel things that people themselves don't even want to acknowledge or talk about. But I struggle with not absorbing that and really having, I call it my golden bubble of protection, so that I can feel it and kind of comprehend it, but not absorb it. And for a long time, I used to absorb everything. And I think I'm getting better with it, but it's definitely the feeling part of it can be heavy and a lot. So I kind of just struggle with that a bit within all of my relationships, actually, especially when people have big things going on in their life and maybe they're not like sharing it all, or, you know, you're disconnected, or you live under the same roof and you know there's shit going on and you can like literally feel it in your body. And for me, I need to purge and talk and acknowledge to be able to kind of let things go. But you know, everyone is not okay with doing that too. They're not comfortable with doing that. So it's like how to manage feeling all this stuff that's so sometimes heavy for me, and what to do with it when I can't maybe talk about it or just let it go, right? It just kind of like lingers. Even with my new, like the new baby, feeling him and the things he feels just so strongly and wanting to make everything better. You know, it's wild. And it's kind of like a magical superpower too, I feel, at the same time, but it's one that it's like a blessing and a curse at the same time too. So that's just something today, as I sit here, like is becoming more and more, I'm just so more and more aware of it and feel so much stronger.
That's a tough one too. That's a tough one to navigate and find. I know we've talked a million times about boundaries. Like it's almost like you have to find a boundary like with that, where it doesn't impede on being your superpower, because it can work for you. That in a lot of ways, that's how I am with work. Like I feel the same thing. Is that Jackson's arm? It is Jackson's arm. Hi, Jackson. The energy and the emotions can drain you if you don't know how to process them. I don't know if I'm an empath or anything like that, but I know I feel and carry. I haven't quite figured out how to figure all that stuff out either. You say it beautifully though, and it is something that you definitely have to find some balance for you so that you're not carrying it, because as much as you feel it for your own benefit, Enzo can also feel it from you too. So it's like reciprocal. Like you're gonna feel it for him, and then he's gonna feel whatever you're absorbing from him and then from everybody else too. So it's tough.
I could not imagine living like that. I think I would struggle wholeheartedly with that. I mean, like I can be empathetic, but I'm certainly not an empath for sure. But like, I struggle with other people's feelings, like acknowledging and handling other people's feelings sometimes. And I don't think I'd be able to, like, so you definitely are a stronger person than me, because I would be like, I'd like be a puddle of mud in the corner or something. Like I'd be like, oh, I can't handle this. That is amazing. Oh.
I don't think it's necessarily stronger than anybody else at all by any means. I don't even think it really honestly has to do with strength. It's just kind of how we're each designed, right? Like we're all designed a little differently, and then it's funny because like our challenges, or if you want to look at it as a weakness or a strength, whatever, but we put it into what we do. Like I'm doing the work I'm doing now because of who I am and what I've learned about myself in a way. So it's like these things that happen or the realizations you have about yourself, like it's never too late to put them towards reinventing yourself, right? Like everyone here is kind of doing that now in a way. So yeah, I don't know. Thanks, Meg. I wouldn't say it has anything to do with being strong, but it's just something that is, Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like I follow your Facebook and your posts. Well, pre-Enzo, there was a lot of activity, and I was able to like follow along and stuff. But now you like have a whole lot of other things you're busy with. So, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's been minimal, but I hope to get back to sharing some more too. Now I could just get to scroll and watch all of your stuff and sit back and watch and relax.
Nice. Sorry, Hazel's bugging me now too. So my biggest struggle in my 40s is just adulting, if I'm being honest. Just the day-to-day adulting of life. Like Mark texted me earlier and he's like, isn't your credit card payment due today? You're gonna pay that? Like, just all the little mundane stuff. Like I'm so, like I told you, right? I have all these things that like swirl around my head that I'm so busy with that. And I'm interested in. I'm like really good at being focused on the things I'm interested in, and the stuff that I'm like, credit card bill, that seems foolish. Why would I care about that? So luckily Mark's like a walking Rolodex and a calendar and everything for me too. So yeah. So we've gotten a little bit heavy here. We've gotten some heavy stuff here. So we're gonna do another rapid fire for you guys. And Christina, you're participating in this one. I can't wait. So living in it, ladies, living in it. You ready? Unmute. All right. Tequila or red wine?
Tequila.
Red wine.
Oof. I'm a tequila girl myself. All
I'm
right.
shocked,
Ready?
Jen.
If you said like vodka and red wine, I would have said vodka, but I can't do tequila. And a margarita, yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
not straight. So there's
All
an
right.
explanation.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Tea.
Somehow I knew it. I felt that in you, Heather Ann. I felt there was going to be a tea in there. All right.
Coffee's like a dessert treat for me. And tea's like a hug and a cup. So I really do like them.
Oh,
both.
I love that description.
I'm gonna go with a tea because I love a good tea party. So we're going team tea.
Oh, all right. All right, ready? Snooze or no snooze?
No snooze.
Like hitting the snooze button?
Yeah.
Oh, like 3 times. Yeah.
Me
I have
too.
to say, as I gotten older, I definitely don't snooze anymore.
Ooh.
No snooze.
You don't hit snooze? I'm shocked.
Absolutely
at that.
not. Jared hits it like 10 times and has his ringer on all the way up. The second my alarm goes off, I'm up. I shoot out of bed. No
Oh my
snooze.
gosh.
If it's before 6 a.m., definitely hit and snooze a few times. After that, no snooze needed.
I snooze all the time. All right. Morning or night?
Morning.
Night.
Night.
They're totally mixed up for me right now. I can't. Is there a such thing as morning and night anymore? I don't even know.
They're all the same for you right now,
Yes,
Heather.
they are.
All right. Sparkling or still?
Still. Unless it's flavored.
Yeah, flavored sparkling.
Man, this is the worst ever. You guys are like,
Oh, water. Still.
Yeah, I'll do still.
still. I'm a still girl. All right. Bone in or boneless?
Bone in.
Boneless.
Boneless.
Bone in, juicier.
Mm.
Oh. All right. Bare feet or flip flops?
Bare feet.
Bare feet.
Bare feet.
Wow. All barefooters. I love it. It's actually good for you when you go stand out in the grass. Stand out in the grass for a little bit of grounding. It's good for you. Awesome. All right. Favorite nighttime activity? Get your head out of the gutter. Scrolling or book?
Scrolling.
Mm.
Scrolling.
Scrolling.
Yeah, I guess scrolling. I want to
What?
read.
I
It's
do
mindless. I want to read too, but
And you
scrolling's
fall
just
asleep.
mindless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
All right.
scrolling the news headlines count? Even though that's horrendous to do because I'm not on Facebook and Instagram, but I do the.
That's
Ah, it's-
literally the worst thing to do before you go to sleep. Not
I
only is the
know.
scrolling part bad, but then the news part is bad.
Well,
Like it's like you might as well just say to Jared, like, hey, can you grab that hammer over there and smash me in the forehead with it? Like,
Pretty
what?
much. And Christina, at first I thought you said is scrolling the nudes, the NUDES. I'm like, what is
Oh, well, maybe
Jen,
I
I
should try
told you.
that.
Head out of the gutter.
it is in the gutter?
Oh, okay, so this one's not an and or. This is just one item you can't live without.
It's
Ooh.
sad, but I'm gonna say my phone.
Mm.
A
Right
water
now-
bottle.
A water bottle. Oh.
Right now, it's my protein shake in the morning. It gives me life.
My green morning complete. It's my pre-probiotic. That's pathetic. I know.
It
And
really
listen,
is. I
this
was
is
It's
just-
40.
this
I
is
was
40.
literally thinking, so that I can have a normal bowel movement.
No, so I don't have acid reflux. I don't give two shits about the normal bowel movement, literally. I care about the acid that comes up my throat.
Oh God. Oh, that was so funny.
Oh.
All right. And one more. So a regular, oh my gosh, could I speak? A regular ritual you can't or can live without. Regular ritual.
My oils every morning and every night on my skin in specific places. It's my armor.
That's a good one.
I have
I'm
to say
sniffing
my
it right
morning
now.
coffee. I need morning coffee to even function through the day.
There you go.
Snuggles with Miller, and I give him a kiss right on his like between his front
Watch
legs.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw, little cuddles. What about you, Gab? What do you got?
So not 40, but this is 40. Taking my arthritis vitamin in the morning so that my knees don't hurt.
Dude, it's kind of like my morning complete, so I don't have acid.
Yeah.
this
Yep.
is 40, but not 40. Like,
And I feel it if I don't take it. So it's a ritual that needs to be followed every day.
right. So this is 40,
Yeah.
but not 40. Reunion to follow.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Well, that was a lot of fun, you guys. I mean, there was some good ones in there. So I guess, and we should wrap it up, this episode up with, because we always do gratitude. And for those of you who are listening out there, we always do gratitude. And this is Christina's jam, right?
Jam.
So I'm going to start because I can, and I have a big mouth, and that goes. So I talk a lot. So I am grateful for the time and for you ladies to give your time, because I know how precious that is in every possible way, to do this with us, because it was nice to get back together with you guys, because it's been a while, I haven't seen you guys, and we're just I am grateful that you took the time out, especially with new babies and changes of life that are all happening for all of us. So thank you guys.
I am also grateful for the same. I am grateful for all of you ladies and all of my tribe, because you ladies are part of my tribe. So without you guys, I don't know what I would do. Especially with the crazy going into 40s and life changes and the ups and downs. So just like Meg said, thank you for your time. I'm grateful for it, because we do know that time is so valuable anymore, and you guys are super busy. So we really appreciate it. And thank you for being part of my tribe. I'm grateful for it. Both of you, all of you, and for, just being here and doing this. This is super fun.
And you're welcome to share, ladies, if you have gratitude, but don't feel obligated. It's cool. We're all.
No pressure.
I'm grateful that we did this. I have to be honest, I was kind of nervous. I don't like to be put on the spot, to discuss life, I guess you'd say, but this was actually really helpful. I really liked this. So thank you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And I'm also really grateful that tomorrow is Friday.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I'm grateful too for this time. I'm grateful that Enzo's still sleeping peacefully. It's a miracle. Thank you, Jesus. And just for time to be able to be present in community with all of you and connect, and to be able to get even a deeper look, Christina, into your life and what's going on in your life and this podcast. I'm so proud of you ladies for starting this, and just grateful for everyone's vulnerability and being brave today, just talking open and honestly. So thank you. Thank you for including me.
Thank you.
Yes.
I am grateful that you ladies are doing this podcast in general. I think when you first said you want to do a podcast, I was like, all right, cool. And then listening to it, it's just, you guys just are so easy to listen to, and it's just it's nice listening to other people's views on things that are similar to yours, or maybe not, but just that you're both so open and you're sharing, and so I'm grateful for this time to be part of it, but also that you two are took this great step, and it's something that you both seem to really enjoy doing.
Boom. For sure.
We love it. Thank you, ladies.
So This Is 40 is wrapped up. I can't wait to hear this when it is up and going. Are you ready, Christina?
I'm ready. I'm waiting for you to do your normal wrap, and I'm gonna make eye contact so we can get this on point through the.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for this episode of This Is 40, and we will catch you on the next exhale.
Deuces.
Deuces.